The digital news cycle is a beast that thrives on urgency, emotion, and the barest sliver of possibility. It operates on a currency of gasps, clicks, and shares, often divorcing context from consequence in its relentless pursuit of engagement. Few headlines exemplify this machinery better than the type that screams, "Scary face, live shocker, Mark Consuelos replaced. Kelly Ripa's silence speaks volumes." At first glance, for a devoted viewer of Live with Kelly and Mark, the heart might stutter. The duo's chemistry, a potent blend of marital sparring, genuine affection, and professional ease, is the undeniable engine of the show. The idea of Mark Consuelos being replaced feels as foundational as changing the host of a late-night institution. It's a seismic proposition. But to accept the headline at face value is to misunderstand the entire ecosystem in which it was born. This is not a news story. It is a case study. Let us dissect it, layer by layer, from the spark of the rumor to the profound silence that supposedly speaks volumes, exploring the intricate dance between celebrity, media, and audience in the 21st century. Part 1. The live shocker itself. Deconstructing the headline. A headline like this is engineered with the precision of a viral pathogen. Each component is designed to bypass rational thought and tap directly into the limbic system. The screaming face is not mere decoration. It is a preemptive emotional command. It tells you how to feel before you've processed a single word. Shock, alarm, panic. It sets the tone for a crisis, not a conversation. Live shocker. The use of live implies immediacy and urgency. This isn't a retrospective analysis. It's breaking news, happening now, and you are behind if you haven't heard. Shocker amplifies this, promising a revelation so profound it will disrupt your understanding of the show's reality. It's a promise of drama. Mark Consuelos replaced. This is the core claim, presented as a fait accompli. The word replaced is passive and absolute. It suggests a decision has been made by a faceless authority, a corporate mandate from on high, with no agency granted to Mark or Kelly. There is no might be, could be, or is being considered. It is stated as fact. Kelly Ripa's silence speaks volumes. This is the masterstroke, the failsafe that inoculates the story against a lack of evidence. The absence of proof becomes the proof. By framing Kelly's lack of public comment as a meaningful, damning act, a silence that speaks volumes, the narrative creates a closed loop of logic. If she denies it, she's covering for the network. If she ignores it, her silence is confirmation. It's a rhetorical trap. This headline is a perfect specimen of what media critics call clickbait. Its primary goal is not to inform, but to trigger the click. The subsequent article is often an afterthought, a bloated vessel filled with speculation, recycled quotes, and out-of-context images designed to justify the headline's explosive promise. Part 2. The genesis of a rumor. Where could this come from? Rumors of this magnitude rarely emerge from a complete vacuum. They are usually born from a kernel of truth, which is then distorted, magnified, and weaponized. Let's explore the plausible origins. Scenario A. The guest host and the Chinese whispers effect. The most likely origin is the simplest, the show's well-established practice of using guest hosts. When Kelly or Mark takes a vacation or has a filming commitment, a substitute steps in. It's a routine part of the television industry. However, in the hyper-vigilant world of fan forums and entertainment gossip, this routine becomes fodder for speculation. The process might look like this. Fact: Mark Consuelos is scheduled to be off for a week to film a project or take a family trip. Observation: a popular actor or TV personality is announced as the guest co-host for that week. Initial speculation: a fan tweets, "Wow, guest host was so great with Kelly today. Would love to see him as a permanent replacement someday. Hashtag Live with Kelly and Mark." Amplification: a low-traffic gossip blog, scouring social media for content, sees this tweet. They write a post with the headline, "Could guest host replace Mark Consuelos? Fans are speculating." Distortion: A more prominent, less scrupulous site picks up this blog post. Their headline becomes, "Rumors swirl that guest host is being groomed to replace Mark Consuelos on Live." The shocker. Finally, a site that trades in outrage and shock takes the baton. It ignores the rumors and speculation and presents the conclusion as fact. Mark Consuelos replaced. The original, innocent tweet has been mutated beyond all recognition through the Chinese whispers of the digital media ecosystem. Scenario B, the contract negotiation leak. Another plausible, though less frequent origin, is the leak during contract negotiations. Mark Consuelos' contract, like any television personalities, would be up for renewal periodically. Negotiations are a delicate dance involving salary, benefits, creative control, and commitment. A disgruntled agent, a network executive looking to gain leverage, or a producer with an axe to grind might strategically leak information to the press. A leak like, "The network is exploring all options for the future of Live," is vague and non-committal, but in the hands of an outlet hungry for a shocker, it becomes, "Network frustrated with Consuelos and seeking a replacement." The truth that it's prudent business to consider long-term plans is buried under the more dramatic narrative of conflict and imminent dismissal. Scenario C, the manufactured crisis. In some cases, the rumor is entirely manufactured. An editor at a digital outlet, facing a traffic quota and a slow news day, greenlights a story based on nothing more than a what-if premise. The writer is tasked with creating a 500-word piece from the thinnest of air, a photo of Kelly looking pensive. She was probably just thinking about lunch. A lack of recent Instagram posts from Mark. He was simply enjoying a digital detox. And the overarching, unproven thesis that all is not well in paradise. This scenario is the most cynical, representing the pure commodification of celebrity lives without any anchor in reality. Part 4. The Replacement. A historical and industrial perspective. To understand why the idea of replacing Mark Consuelos is so potent, one must understand the unique history of the Live franchise and the nature of Kelly Ripa's professional partnerships. The ghost of Regis and the trauma of transition. For decades, the show was defined by the partnership of Regis Philbin and Kathie Lee Gifford. Their dynamic was legendary. When Kathie Lee left, the search for her replacement was a national conversation. The eventual ascension of Kelly Ripa was a success, but it was a transition that required careful handling. When Regis finally departed, the show underwent a profound identity crisis, a revolving door of male co-hosts, from Josh Groban to Jerry O'Connell, paraded through the studio, each auditioning live on air. It was a public and at times awkward process that left a mark on the show and its audience. The eventual, almost inevitable hiring of Kelly's real-life husband, Mark Consuelos, in 2023 was a masterstroke. It ended the years of uncertainty and created a stable, beloved dynamic. Therefore, the very word "replaced" triggers a collective PTSD for longtime viewers. It evokes the instability and anxiety of the post-Regis era, a period the show and its fans have no desire to relive. The headline, then, isn't just about Mark. It's about threatening the hard-won stability of the entire program. The unbreakable brand, Kelly and Mark, as a synergistic entity. The show is no longer just Live. In the public consciousness, it is Live with Kelly and Mark. Their brand is inextricably linked to their real-life marriage. This is not a professional partnership that ends when the cameras stop rolling. It is a 24/7 union. This synergy is the show's greatest asset. Authenticity. Their arguments about household chores or parenting are authentic. Their inside jokes are real. The audience isn't watching two actors simulate camaraderie. They are getting a window into a real marriage. Commercial value. This authenticity has immense commercial value. Advertisers clamor for the genuine, relatable connection they project. The show's ratings are buoyed by this unique selling proposition. The impossibility of a true replacement. From a purely business standpoint, replacing Mark would be commercial insanity. You cannot replace a husband with another man. The entire dynamic would shift from a marital comedy to a standard and potentially awkward talk show partnership. the Kelly and Mark brand would be shattered, and the show would lose its defining characteristic. Any network executive with a rudimentary understanding of branding would see this as a catastrophic move. Part 4. The silence that speaks volumes. This is the most insidious part of the rumor. The argument from silence is a logical fallacy for a reason, but in the court of public opinion, it can be powerfully persuasive. Let's analyze what Kelly Ripa's silence truly represents. The professional protocol of non-engagement. For a celebrity of Kelly Ripa's stature and experience, responding to every rumor is an impossible and self-destructive task. She has been in the industry for decades and understands the media landscape better than most. To publicly deny a story like this would be to validate the rumor. By acknowledging it, she elevates it from a fringe digital scream to a legitimate topic of discussion.